So Warzone definitely has a TTK problem, at least from the vast majority of comments I get or the things I see on different social media. And I wanted to address a specific one that they confirmed in the patch notes, which was added minimum damage against armor. First glance, that doesn't seem like a big deal. And I thought initially this was a bug because True Game Data had found this out over a month ago, and he found some irregularities with the M4. And I just thought, hey, you know what? Irregularities, they'll get the fix. New game, bugs. There was tons of bugs, so you kind of just toss it in with that. But this confirms that this is not a bug, and this is in fact a way to balance weapons at their furthest range and cause them to do more damage. That's right, more damage when the player has armor, and effectively reducing the TTK and making it even faster than it already is. So here's the spot in True Game Data's video where he talked about this a month ago, and it ends up being that the M4 does 20 to the chest as a value when it's supposed to do that 18. And I don't think every gun has this, because obviously the patch notes look like they added it to specific weapons, and the overall goal of this mechanic is to impact a weapon that they have it balanced pretty well in multiplayer, and they don't really want to touch it in multiplayer, so they impact how it damages you at range within Warzone so it can actually kill faster. So ideally this would be for a gun that kills incredibly slow with 250 damage needed, but they can modify it so it can actually do more damage against armored opponents, which would effectively give it a one-shot less TTK, which for some guns, depending on the rate of fire, can make it significantly faster. So just with this M4 example, the headshot is supposed to be 25 and 18, and this is the data we pulled from sim.gg. What ends up happening is with this one, if it's armored, has a minimum value of 20, it's going to end up impacting the damage. So we're going to take the 150 with plates, and then we do the 20 shots per. It will take 8 shots to kill, which gets you 160 damage. We subtract that from 250, you end up with 90 HP, which is kind of what we're dealing with right here. And if you had 90 HP at 18 damage, you're going to end up with 5 shots to kill. 8 plus 5 equals 13, which means we end up with, instead of 14 shots to kill, which would realistically be the case, we're going to end up with 13 shots to kill, 1 shot faster. So even if you're using the site or using the data that I put together, and I'm going to show you in the next part, or you're using a True Game Data site, they're all going to be based off of the normal values. And I know this is a lot of numbers, but it gets you sidetracked. But what does that even mean? It means that your TTK, the realistic TTK, is going to go from 962 down to 888, which is 74 millisecond difference. And that is just in this one example. So when we take a look at something like that on the M4, we'll go ahead and see that it kind of falls over here with 962, even though at that long range, its TTK is closer to 888, and it would move it up the ranks, and it would actually cause it to perform significantly better at range than expected. And this is happening with the various weapons. It's just he spot checked and found the M4, and they've alluded to these 6 or so other weapons that have this damage value, that they've added it to those weapons that were underperforming. And there may be tons of other weapons, and we won't know until it's hand tested and gone through, and private matches require 50 players. So this may be something we do on stream. We're going to collaborate hopefully with True Game Data on this and just do some nonsense testing to find this stuff out so we can get realistic numbers, because I'm not sure sim.gg will be able to data mine those values, but if they are, more power to them, and that is great, makes it a lot easier. So on top of all of that, I know one of the things that people will like to say is, hey, let's just add 50 HP and that just solves all the problems. And in reality, it kind of gives a little bit of a band-aid to the problem, but then you create a new problem that a lot of people don't realize, is that the mag sizes generally in Modern Warfare 2 are slightly smaller than we had in Modern Warfare 1, Cold War, and Vanguard, and that significantly impacts the viable options as soon as you start factoring extra health, regardless of this extra damage against armor plates, which is counterintuitive. So an example like this is the M4 right now at range should do 14 shots, but we just saw it can do 13 with the armor plate multiplier. So we can kind of see that there. So that'll end up being 16 shots to kill, which means it'll take a quarter of your mag, even with 100% accuracy. Even if you have 30% accuracy, which is pretty good, it means that you should be able to get around 20-ish shots to kill, and that'll consume your whole mag. That means almost with the standard accuracy, it's going to be 1 reload per kill, which kind of limits your playstyle and viability, and it'll only slow the game down. And we saw this toward the end of Warzone 1. There was a lot of great guns that killed quick, but were maybe more viable in solos, like the AMAX, amazing. As soon as he added the extra health, became dog because it only had 45 bullets. Even though it was viable, if you went up against more than one person, you're essentially going to get caught reloading. I think the extra health is a possible solution, but I don't think it's the only solution. I think they can actually just fine tune it and then look at what gun they're trying to achieve a TTK for. I think the Hemlock coming in at 900 TTK at range is pretty good. So maybe we just nerf all the junk above it to either impact the recoil, bullet velocity, range, or damage values to get closer to 900. And then everything below 900, we kind of buff that up and we kind of bring it in close, and then we have a pretty viable meta. That is a lot more work. So that's probably not the route they'll go. They'll probably just add the extra 50 health, since that's a little bit easier. And then you still end up with a similar issue, but you're working with less weapons because the mag sizes just don't allow you to compete. And then for close range, obviously you can do the same thing where you're kind of just nerfing stuff to around the mini Bach TTK, which no one thinks is overpowered in Warzone. Maybe there's a few of you out there. I know there's a lot of mini Bach supporters. They got mad that I said it was trash in Warzone, but it is. Otherwise, you would see people using it. And we'll be talking a little bit more about this on stream over at Twitch, which is linked near the top of the description, where I'm going to go ahead and kind of public this so you guys will have this available. And if you're interested, we're also going to add every weapon to True Game Data's site with the specific loadout. So if you're looking for a particular class setup, you'll be able to find those things, and I'll have all 40-ish weapons on there. So you can go ahead and kind of look up, even if you like these random off meta weapons, we can kind of go there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.